Welcome to Hickory Street Podcast. We are here with Thyroids. Hi, guys.
What's up?
Go ahead and just go around and I guess say your names and what you do in the band.
I'm Kenny. I play guitar and I yell.
I'm Mark. Play drums and I scream.
I'm Mitchell. I also scream and I play bass.
All right. Awesome. Thanks for coming out and doing this, given the circumstances.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
This is pretty much all the social interaction I can get with my friends right now.
Really.
For the most part. What were you saying?
Same, really.
Oh yeah.
Turn that up just a little bit.
So, actually, I don't know a whole lot about Thyroids. I heard you guys through Justin. Justin was the one that showed me your music first. I guess it was probably 2016 or 2017.
Sounds about right.
When did you guys start, and can you kind of explain how you got started and how Thyroids kind of came to be?
We kind of started back in 2014. At least all the initial writing the songs and everything. Back in my garage, in my parents' garage, and it was me, Mark, and our friend Josh Contreras. And from there, we just wrote all these songs, and our friend Max had this 2-track cassette deck and let us borrow it after we had moved and just recorded the first Gnarlands EP.
Oh wow, so that was recorded on a 2-track? That wasn't even like a 4-track? It was a... Damn.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
And that was all Mark's ingenuity, too.
If you want to use the word ingenuity, sure. We made do with what we had.
Yeah.
So you recorded that in 2014?
It was more like right at the beginning of 2015. But yeah, I mean, I guess the process for getting the space together and solidifying the fact that we were going to do that started in late 2014.
Okay, that's awesome. So whenever you started, was it the same lineup, or was it just you two, or?
No, I was actually playing bass at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I just happened to be playing in another band, Thunderswell, that was on the other side of the Gnarlands split. We had some issues arise, and then I was switching on over to drums.
So, had you even played drums?
Yeah, I was playing drums in that other band.
Oh, you
Thunderswell,
were?
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So, sorry, this mic I think might be cutting out a little bit. Test. Weird. All right. So, how did you meet? You and Kenneth. How did you?
That show at Max's house. Our friend Max had mentioned earlier. Throwing a house show with his project Wet Dreamer, and I think it was just Thunderswell after that. I think it was just the two of us playing. And Kenny was there, and we smoked out of an apple together.
Yes,
that's
I
a
just
cool
learned
story.
how to make apple pies.
Oh, okay.
I remember it like it was yesterday. I looked back. I was in Mark's front seat while him and one of his exes was in the back seat, and I just remember looking at them, and I was like, his eyes are so blue, and his hair is so yellow, and her hair is so red. It was just very vivid.
Oh,
it's because I was so stoned. I remember.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, in 2014, whenever you guys met, did you have any idea that you wanted to start a band? And who was the where did the idea come from? Was it kind of just Kenneth?
I knew I wanted to start a band, but I'd never played in any bands before. It was just kind of hard to find musicians, especially being in high school in an area that not a lot of people want to play in a band, I would say. And I met Mark and I saw him play drums. but I guess he told me, or he told me before that he played in another band. He was playing bass because we had our friend Josh on drums at the time, and we just gave him a go. I invited them over to my garage one day, and we just all started playing and trying to write together. So
Okay.
yeah.
So it was just kind of was it a conversation at the party? Is that?
No, it kind of came together afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause actually, I believe how I remember it happening is Gabe was playing bass first for a little bit, and that didn't work out. Gabe, the other member in Thunderswell, that wasn't working out. Neither was Thunderswell, and similar related reasons. And then it just started playing bass for him when Thunderswell dissolved.
Okay. Cool. What kind of band was Thunderswell, by the way?
It's like similar, but a little more poppy, garage punk, in quotation marks.
Okay.
Garage pop punk, I guess.
Cool. All right. And so when did you join the band, Mitch?
Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, it must have been like July 2018 or so.
Yeah, July 2018.
July of 2018.
Yep.
Okay.
Kenny at a hip hop show. What was that?
That was Bum B.
Oh, was it?
What?
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish I could have gone to that one.
So it was a festival that was going on in Fort Worth. I think it was no, it wasn't Lila's. What's that bar where they always have the Dreamy Life?
Shipping and receiving.
Shipping and receiving, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I had mutual friends with his, I think, cousin-in-law or
Brother-in-law.
his brother-in-law, and I previously wanted to try his brother-in-law for the band, and then, well, another smoke session happened basically, and Mitch was in the car. Mitch happened to be there, and I was like, this is kind of cool. And he had like known a lot about sound engineering, and been around bands pretty much for the better half of his life, or the last half of his life. I don't know. Yeah, the last half of his life.
So you joined the band after the band had already been together for 4 years then?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm
Okay.
a pretty late member.
Yeah, we've gone through 4 lineups.
Roughly, we had a lot of. I mean, it's one we knew Pablo was gonna be a fill-in. We knew he was gonna be moving when we asked him to join, like within 6 months of when we were initiating him.
Right.
But
So it was a situation where, like, whenever he joined, he knew it was going to be a short-lived thing.
yeah. Granted, I mean, he's a great dude, incredible bassist. And now he's out doing cool things in Alaska.
Well, I really dig your music, man. I mean,
Thank you.
whenever me and Justin and the rest of the guys from the Delzells went on a little Texas tour that we went on, your music was like in Justin's car.
Oh, yeah,
Like the entire trip, and I was like bugging the crap out of him because after it would finish, all the way from Waco to Austin, I was like, play it again. So he was like, no. Eventually he was like, I'm gonna play something else now. I was like, all right. Well, so what would you say has been your like biggest accomplishment as a band within the lineup that you guys have currently? Like what would you say is a really fun show that you guys could like point out to and say, man, I'm really glad we
Champfest.
Champfest?
That's
a good one.
show that Mitch had played with us, so it was a total banger.
Yeah, that second show that Mitch ever played with us, and the fact that he pulled it off because there was so many people bumping into us. Like,
Yeah, I got bulldozed by like the mosh pit mid-set. Half the drums got taken out too.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
there's clips where like, I mean, we're all pretty well hitting it for a second, but then it sounds like I just start screwing up. And granted, I did, but I mean, like half my drums were now like on the floor. It was a wild show. People hanging from the rafters and stuff. Like,
Yeah, I've been once or twice, and it's always just insane. So
and Champfest a hell of a birthday party.
yeah, man, yeah.
I just love that crowd. That's like, I feel like that's our our crowd.
Yeah.
Like a good, that
All just
crowd's
good-natured people for the most
Oh,
part.
totally.
Yeah. Everybody was really friendly whenever I went, at least. And
For sure.
I think they even had like some rappers doing some stuff outside too. It was a big deal. It was awesome. Cool. Well, I know that you guys recently put out another EP, like what, 6 months ago?
It was about a year ago at this point.
Was it a year ago?
Yeah, it's March of
Wow.
last year.
Jeez, that's a long time.
Yeah.
We did put out the single earlier this March.
Oh yeah, we did. About a year after that, this last March, did put out a single for the new album. We're gonna start recording here soon.
Oh, okay.
We're going with soon. That's the word.
So there's not been like any recordings that have already happened yet. So you still got.
We're still building up the studio. We just prefer to do it ourselves, and there's so much that goes in with that. And the single we did was just like a way of testing out, like what our capabilities are and with the equipment that we have, and really like what we needed to update. And we're in the process of doing that, recording some of our homies as well. We have a session with Verruct on Sunday.
Who?
Verruct out of Dallas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're pretty dope.
Are they another band or?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just gonna do like a recording with them, or?
Yeah, in the same like setup that we recorded the EP with, but like expanded upon.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool, man. So, are you guys still practicing at that jam space in Dallas? Like,
Yeah, it's like North Garland.
kind of North Garland.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Whenever I was hanging out with James there, he was like, "Oh yeah, Thyroids," and then you came out with like a paper bag on your head, like whenever I was leaving or something. I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" Do you remember that?
Vaguely. I
Yeah.
kind of just do these things.
I thought it was kind of funny because I had only maybe 1 or 2 conversations with you at that point, so I didn't even really know you that well. You just like came out with a paper bag. It was funny. How long have you guys been practicing there, by the way? Did you have another jam space before that?
We
or-
did in the same space, but we had another room in the same building.
Oh, okay.
So we've probably been with that rehearsal space for about 3 years.
On and off for 4 now, because we
4?
got it right before we left for tour in 2016.
Oh yeah. So like 4 years we've been there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
I like how there's not a lot of bands there. Like it's just maybe like 20 bands at the most, and so it kind of just keeps it a little bit more private. I like that.
Yeah.
Traffic's low.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in a good spot because where you guys are located at, if you wanted to, like, I know you do play in Dallas a lot, but playing in Dallas is like, 20-minute drive on a good day, depending on the time,
Yeah.
So that must be pretty nice where you're located at.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely helps when we're leaving our gig at like 4 in the morning.
Yeah, for sure. So, Kenneth, is Thyroids the only thing that you've done?
Yeah.
You haven't done any other band or anything?
No, I tried to write some solo acoustic stuff before, but I've never felt confident enough to be able to release it. I haven't just worked towards that.
Oh, okay.
So.
How old are you, by the way?
23.
You're 23.
Yeah.
Are you in the same age?
25.
25. Okay. And Mitch,
I'm 28.
you're 28, so you're the oldest. Okay. Cool. What kind of have you been in other bands, Mitch? Have you been in?
No, I've played. I know a lot of musicians that I've like played or jammed with at their house and stuff, but never been in a band. Like,
So this is your
formally.
first band that you've formally been in.
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I mean, I'm kind of surprised just because you're like on the sound engineering side of things. So, talk about that a little bit. How'd you get into sound engineering? Like, what was that?
My brother joined a band when he was like 15. My younger brother. This was back when I was like 18 years old. and they didn't have a sound guy, and they played a lot of like private venues.
Okay,
where
so
they have to bring their own sound system, and so
Yeah.
they asked me to run sound for them. I ended up running sound for them, Mothership, Roaming Soldiers. Those were like the first, like my introduction to doing live music stuff.
okay. I've heard of Mothership. They're just another local band, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What kind of music are they?
They're pretty big though.
Are they?
Yeah, they're like hard rock type of stuff.
Oh, okay. I
They're pretty
haven't
fucking
listened
sick.
to it. I just see that name. Where they are?
Yeah, they're dope.
Check
I'll
it
have to.
out.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely have to check it out then. The name sounds really familiar. I mean, you can always kind of tell, if a band's, bigger doing things. Like, if you just name recognition, you just like, oh, I know that name. I've seen it a lot.
Yeah.
What? So they're just like a hard rock band. It's like
They're pretty heavy. Yeah.
So they're like more on the closer to metal.
I would say so.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. How long did you do sound for them for?
Like 3 years on and off.
Really? Did you go tour with them or anything?
No.
Or just like
Just
local stuff?
Yeah.
Cool. So, new album planned for
The future.
the future. No date
Foreseeable
yet.
future, yeah.
You already have the track list ready though, right?
For the most part, we're still tweaking them. A couple need a little more than tweaking, but like full lyrics and like other parts. But yeah, we've got most of them are at least performable if they haven't been performed. So yeah.
How does the songwriting process go for you guys? Is it
It's all sorts of different ways, really.
A lot of jams.
A lot of jamming, definitely for sure. Pretty much, I guess, starts with improvising together and then seeing if it sounds good and putting another part to it, trying to maybe alter the time signature or it really, I don't really know.
Do you guys help with the lyrics, or is it just all you?
Yeah, it's pretty well a group effort.
Yeah.
Is it really? Wow, that's cool for a band. That you don't really hear that too often from bands, that everybody in the band works on the lyrics together. So.
I mean, if in some songs, if someone's not necessarily contributing, they're at least giving input to maybe this phrase would work better and get the same message across type of thing. Just we're all checking and balancing ourselves.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
It sounds very democratic the way you guys are operating it.
Maybe even a little more group oriented than democratic. But we try to do everything as one unit, just so it's more fluid.
That's good. I haven't had a whole lot of bands like that on the podcast yet, so you guys are one of the first ones.
Here we are, rocky like a hurricane, right?
Yeah, I've had a lot of solo artists that are in bands that are collaborative, but never just an entire band that showed up and talked about it, and all you guys really do stuff together. That's nice. It must be really refreshing. I mean,
it can be very not refreshing sometimes, because we all we're our own individuals and we have our own opinions and thoughts on things, and the better stuff always comes out of compromise, though. Hardly ever is it sometimes it is hey, I've got this idea, let's just roll with it, and it's all right, we got to step back and let you do your thing, but also at the same time like I said, we're always checking and balancing each other.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what would you say as a band was your most memorable moment? It can be anything, just something funny that happened.
Poster pre-Mitch.
Just the first thing that comes to my mind is we were all, except for Mitch. Mitch had driven himself to that show because he lives in BFE, and when time's time, he's got to be able to drive for an hour. But we were hanging out, and we had a friend with us, and I guess, we were feeling ourselves. We've been at a show all night. It was like, 3 in the morning at this point, and kind of decided, time was time, and he had to use the restroom. Granted, I was driving 80 miles an hour on 75, and he thought it'd be a good idea to roll down the window and try and do his thing on out the window. Didn't get that far in it, though. His glasses fell off.
That's great.
I lost my glasses a few months ago because I was trying to piss out the window.
Oh shit!
And it was too cold outside, so I didn't piss, but I lost my glasses.
That's just the first thing that came to mind. We've had all kinds of crazy stuff happen.
Funny.
That's definitely the most recent and memorable.
Yeah.
What about was that pre-Mitch?
No, that was when
you were in the band.
Yeah,
I just wasn't there.
he just wasn't in the band. Yeah.
driven his own car that night. Yeah. All together.
What would you say, Mitch?
I don't know, that trip in San Antonio, or the gig in San Antonio, just rushing to get back.
Oh, that was, we got out of the bar at like what was 1:55, but it was daylight savings. So we get on the road and it's 3:00 and we're in San Antonio. Mitch has to be at work in Garland at 7:30 in the morning.
Oh shit, that's horrible timing. God damn, man.
Yeah.
So you guys had to rush all the way from
We stopped one time to get gas and then got right back on the road.
The whole time when we were in San Antonio at the end of the show, there was this guy really trying to get us to come back to his art warehouse.
Yes, that guy. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, there was this dude. He really wanted us to come back to his warehouse and like maybe even jam inside of it.
Yeah.
And the pictures looked really really cool, but we had to get Mitch to work, so it was like no, we had to rain check on that.
Oh,
That was a really interesting dude. He was on something that night.
Yeah, I hope we get to see that dude again.
Yeah.
So like after the show, you guys were having to rush, and this guy's just like, "Hey, come to my art house."
Yeah, we were waiting to get paid, and he just kept asking, like, "Come on, man, it's like so cool. You're gonna love it." And he was like on something, and just wouldn't stop pushing it.
Did you make it to work on time?
Yes, I did.
Damn.
I got there like 15 minutes early, actually.
Did you sleep on the way?
Yeah, I didn't drive on the way home. So
Okay,
we
that's
had
good.
Grant with us that night.
Yeah, but Mark actually gunned it the whole way there. Yeah, he drove the whole way back.
I was trying to sleep, so I don't really remember the drive.
Jeez, I bet you were tired.
Oh, it was fun.
You're just like slamming coffee. It's just like
I was just like banging some metal and driving with the windows down, trying to keep myself awake because we'd all been up all night.
Oh man, I played a festival in Arizona one time, and
Fun.
yeah, but there was on like the ride back was terrible because we went a different route. So the first route we took, we went along the border, right? But the second route we took, we went like through each state, like through the heart of it, thinking it was going to be faster. But the terrain is all mountains. So I was driving and it was like 2:00 in the morning and we hit a sandstorm in New Mexico.
Yikes.
While I'm on a mountain. So I can't see anything in front of me, and I drove like 20 miles an hour for like 4 hours out of New Mexico. At least we made it to a certain point in New Mexico before the sandstorm started or whatever, but it took me 4 hours to get from like whenever I started driving in New Mexico all the way into Lubbock. And so by the time I got and so total I think I ended up driving for 8 hours. And by the time we got into Lubbock, I was like, you guys, I gotta stop driving. I'm falling asleep. It was rough. It was so bad. Oh man, I don't think I'll ever do that again.
Couldn't blame you.
Sandstorms are crazy. I used to live in Phoenix,
Oh really?
and during the summers there'd be the storms like 100 feet in the air, just dust, can't see through it at all. Just like a wall coming towards you. Looks like that scene in The Mummy.
I heard there's one actually on its way here.
Really?
Here?
Yeah.
In Texas?
But that's just something I heard today. Yeah.
It was like some like Saharan sandstorm coming across the Atlantic or something.
Oh yeah. That's what
Oh
it was.
shit!
Yeah.
Really? Oh.
It's a long distance for some sand to travel.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no obstacles keeping it. I mean, just the ocean, you know.
Get a point.
So, wow. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. Whenever it gets here. Bring it on, 2020. Right. We've already got a new disease and collapsed economy. Why not just throw a sandstorm on top of it?
Who had sandstorm for mid-July? Like, you're up 20 on us.
Next year.
Yeah. Not only that, but like hurricane season, didn't it start too?
Oh yeah, so we're coming into it.
Yeah. I don't know. World's falling apart. Just accepted it.
Bask in it. Let it be your glow.
Yeah, let it be the glow.
At least we're all falling apart together.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Well, do you guys have anything else you want to plug for Thyroids? I mean, there's not much to plug right now, but
Yeah.
Not a ton going on. Yeah. It's
what are your views? I'm curious to know this. What are your views on playing shows again? Because some people I've talked to are like, I'm not going to do any shows until there's a vaccine, and some other people I've talked to are like, well, I'll do shows, but only at smaller venues or whatever. What do you guys?
We'd love to play a show again. Of course, that's like, you know, like as a band, our lifeblood. But at the same time, it seems a little irresponsible. Like, we canceled our whole tour, whereas like only the South by shows had dropped. Most of them were at like smaller venues, some of them not so much, but none of them had canceled. We decided to pull the plug on that ourselves just because it seems irresponsible to try and promote like social gathering at a time where like you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Granted, of course, I reiterate, we'd love to play a show.
I've heard people have been having like drive-in shows, like drive-in movies.
I'd love to play a drive-in show.
That would be really cool.
I'd be down to do that.
That would be cool.
Live stream.
Yeah. If there was a way that, you know, I'm sure you would know how to do this, but just like get the soundboard to go on a radio frequency or something.
Yeah.
I think I have a friend that can. I think I heard about a friend that might have that technology recently, but we would have to also find a lot to do that in. So
yeah, it's so weird. I heard that the NFL is going to start having games or like certain sports.
Yeah, certain sports are starting up with like no fans there.
No fans. Is that what it is? Okay.
That's what I've heard.
These are all contact sports. How are you going to play football if they're being 6 feet apart from each other? Like,
right.
How are you going to tackle someone from 6 feet away? Like,
yeah. How are you going to play basketball without playing defense?
yeah.
That sort of thing.
You can get away with baseball.
Yeah, maybe baseball.
Not really.
No, I don't know. No, because you still have to touch him.
Oh yeah.
He has to tag him. It's like you have the ball.
Racing seems safe.
swimming.
Right, racing.
Yeah, racing started up soon. Or NASCAR, I think, just started, and F1 starting up soon.
Swimming though, you're all in the same pool. You're basically touching each other via water.
That's true. Yeah,
chlorine in
just,
Oh yeah. I don't know.
I don't think chlorine kills viruses.
Yeah.
It probably doesn't.
We're gonna say no just to be safe.
Chlorine does not kill viruses.
I'm not a scientist or anything like that.
However, we've heard that drinking bleach and doing cocaine is a solid cure for the coronavirus.
Oh my god.
A+.
Don't do that.
That's because you're on your way out. Yeah, that's why. you're out of here, man.
Disclaimer: do not drink bleach
Do not.
or do cocaine under the premise of that'll cure the coronavirus. It's just,
Thyroids does not promote cocaine and bleach use.
not together anyway.
No, not together. Unless you're cleaning a tabletop.
Oh yeah, that's great.
And then, you've got the bleach to do the job for you. You've got the cocaine to motivate you to do the job. It sounds like a win-win situation.
And let's just be honest, cocaine is mostly baking soda anyway. So.
Yeah. It's multi-purpose. You do some, you mix them in with the cleaning product. It's perfect.
Well, thanks for coming on the show, guys. Look forward to the album.
Us too.
Glad kind of got an insight on your history and where you guys came from. If you're listening, I apologize for the mic issues. I figured out what was happening like halfway through the podcast.
Oh, is this live?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, this is pre-recorded.
I was about to go a long list of shouts-outs.
I mean, you can still. I mean, it's going to be on YouTube, so if they listen to it.
Shout out to Dreamy Life Records, Barf Wave Records, Here Is Nowhere Records, Dead Red Queen, and everybody else that's helped us along the way.
All y'all homies.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Thyroids. If you are a local musician or band or artist, visual artist, you can contact me by sending an email to hickorystreetpodcast@gmail.com. Just shoot me an email and we can set up an interview. All right. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having us.